Hi guys, welcome to another insightful tutorial on Lapery College of Fashion YouTube sewing channel. In today's video, we shall be learning how to go about the drafting and cutting of a yoked garment without any form of gaping at the front armhole. And to do this, I have these fabrics. This is going to be the lining. This is plain net serving as base for this lace. And here is my Ankara African print for the main dress. I also have here with me my basic bodice pattern and the sleeve pattern. For the lower part, the skirt part, I already have a detailed video in which we did how to make side waist pockets. That is the lower part. You could look up that video for better understanding. For today's video, our emphasis shall be on the upper part. And as usual, I'll be following our contouring guidelines to achieving the yoked blouse. So I'll go ahead now first to attach my bodice pattern at the shoulder line this way, front and back pieces. Let me turn it this way. So having attached front and back pieces, we need to do neck width and neck depth. But because this is having a collar at the neckline, I'll leave the front neck depth like so. But for the width now, I'll just widen by about 1/4 inch here like so, then which I'll blend with the center front this way. For the back, I'll come down the center back line by about 1/2 inch thereabouts. Then I also blend with the neck width. So having done the neck width and neck depth now, the next thing is actually to locate the length of the yoke for the front and that of the back piece. And to do this properly, it's best to use my bust radius as a guide. So I'll be locating my underbust line. Underbust line is 14¼ So to mark the point, I'll be picking it from the basic neck width, the original neck width like so, 14¼ then I'll mark the point. This helps me now to be able to know my bust radius, which is roughly 4 inches, 378 thereabouts. So for my apex now, I'll go upwards by my bust radius value, which is this. Then to properly secure it, I'll go up by extra 1/2 inch. It's up to you. You could actually maintain your bust radius or go up by 1/2 or even 1 inch as desired. So I'll be making use of this point, just going upwards my bust radius by 1/2 inch. So I'll mark a square across like so. So that means the length of the choker is now 6½ like so for the front. So for that of the back piece now, I could actually use the same value, picking it from the neck width 6½ this way, or you could use 6, is actually up to you. So I'll pick it from the basic neck width, not the new neck width now, this way, 6½. Then I'll go ahead to square across the pattern like so as the length of the yoke for the back piece. So this is back, this is front. So I can go ahead now to cut off, separating it from the main bodice. So I'm actually cutting the neck width as well, this way. So I can separate again front and back pieces. So with this, we are done with the yoke for the design at hand. So for that of the back piece, we are good to go. Then if you desire to panel, you can panel. Then I'll be making use of my waist shaping this way. So I cut off that of the center back this way, the 1/4 inch waist shaping and the 1/2 inch waist shaping at the side seam. Then I can go ahead now to panel. So we have the center piece and the side piece. So I label properly side seam, center back. Then this is my end seam, which will guide us properly to placing on fabric. Then go ahead now to cut off the darts. Then we're also labeling it up and down like so. So we are good to go with the back piece and the yoke. So to work on the front piece properly now, I'll now square across my underbust line to make it very vivid. Then with this, we can do our underbust tightening. Before we do the underbust tightening, we need to transfer this side dart now to the style line, which is upwards like so. So I'll go ahead now to first square upwards, touching the apex, then cutting through that point. Now I'll be able to close up my side dart. So having transferred my side dart now to the style line this way, we'll move back to the underbust line, then we'll go and do our underbust tightening. So I place my tape measure everything I have, then I'll be checking it against my round underbust measurement. So this is the actual round underbust measurement, and this is the excess that I'm having, which has to be taken out. So I go to the proper point, which is where we have the dart, then I impute this value, which has to be more to the side piece than the center piece. More here than the center piece. So I share the difference, then I blend this way like so. Then we also need to blend it with the apex using our French curve. You may look up my video on guidelines to contouring and how to draft an Armhole princess bustier to understand properly all that we did here. So having tightened our underbust, we also need to go here to do our overbust tightening. And to do this now, I'll be checking the difference, whatever it is I've used here, by a difference of ½ inch. So I'll go ahead now to measure what we are actually taking out here as in form of excess. So to do here now, I'll take the difference of half to that of the underbust, which is 1 1/4, and mark. Then we'll connect with the apex like so. So I'll do this properly with my French curve. So having done this now, we'll be cutting off this region as overbust tightening. We'll also be cutting all of this as our underbust tightening. So here we are with all the tightening this way. I also did my waist shaping here, ½ inch waist shaping. So now this excess that we have here, of course, is going to be affecting the yoke, because this was what we are having initially like so. So having taken out this in form of excess, by the time we join these two pieces together, you can see the yoke will be longer than the main body. But let's leave this for now. Let's put it outside. So I remove all of those shapings now from the basic bodice. Having tightened the underbust and the overbust, we need to check for alignment of the center piece and the side piece. So I place this way, trying to visualize by the time we are doing the sewing, will the two patterns align. There's a little excess here this way. So let me take it again, checking for alignment of the center piece and the side piece, so that when we are joining, the two pieces should be equal. There's a shortage here, so I'll mark. And we need to trim off following our contouring guidelines. That is one. Now, attaching these two pieces together and attaching the yoke, of course, there's going to be shortage. So what we'll do will be to first attach these two as it were sewn. So I'll go ahead to secure it with my tape. Having done this now, this is what we'll have. And of course, remember, there's a shortage where which you need to blend. I will also need to fill up because of what we took out in form of overbust tightening, which is this. So we need to replace it at the side seam at the armhole region this way and blend it. So to do this, I use this paper, securing it with the help of my gum like so. Then I'll go ahead now using what was cut off as overbust tightening to mark and do a replacement so that we can fill up and there wouldn't be shortage for us to attach our yoke. So I replace and blend properly at the armhole like so. Now this is where the main emphasis for today's tutorial is. Having blended like so, I'm needing to attach our yoke. We'll go ahead to attach this way as if it was sewn. And what you observe is this yoke now will be lapping over some region on this side piece. Let me take it again placing the yoke pattern as if you were sewn, there's going to be an overlapping here, and that is the excess that we need to take out at this armhole region. Remember that when we do our armhole princess bustier, we usually take out excess, just like we do our under bust tightening at this armhole region in form of gaping. Now this is having seam, just straight on seam here to separate the yoke from the main body. And since there is seam, it gives us opportunity to take out gaping around that armhole. So what we do is just simply align the yoke with the main body this way, as if it was sewn like so. And the way it's just resting, just mark on your pattern following the outline, the edge of the yoke. Of course, there will be, it's lapping over, and that's the excess that we need to take out. You mark properly this way. Let me use another marker to highlight properly. So that is what we'll be following as our guideline to taking out excess at the armhole. So this is what we'll have, and this is what we'll be cutting out in form of excess. So all I'll do is to just cut following the outline, the marking this way. And I properly reshape my armhole, still following the marking this way. And we are simply done. We are simply good to go. So that by the time we are joining now, attaching the yoke, this is what we'll have. No shortage, everything aligning, and at the armhole we have taken out gaping whatsoever. So this is how to go about drafting yoke blouse and avoiding gaping at the armhole, using that seam that we have as opportunity to take out excesses. The armhole looks small, but then that's where the fitting comes out. It's small, but you are good to go. So with this, we are done with the front patterns this way, and here are those of the back patterns this way. Now there's no more center back tightening, so the center back tightening here will be disregarded like so. Then for the yoke part on the back, I'll be drawing a keyhole style line here just to add as element of designing for the back piece. So I'll simply draw the style line and cut off. But before we place on fabric, we'll like to do the sleeve part, drafting the sleeve pattern. So what we'll do is, this is the front pattern. I'll be picking what I have from the shoulder line up to this region and imputing the same value on the sleeve part. Then from the under arm, I also measure what I have and impute the same value. So it's the difference now that we are going to be taking out as excess for the front armhole. So for the back armhole, we'll do the same. So starting from the back now, I'll measure what I have here from the shoulder tip to this region. Then go ahead from the center line on the sleeve, impute the same value and mark this way. Then for the front, I'll do the same from the tip here, measure what I have. Then from the center line on the sleeve, measure the same thing and mark this way. So having marked those points, these are what we'll have. Then I'll simply connect this way, curved inward slightly, or you could pick the particular point you want the length from the center line this way like so. Then following that point, you simply connect the 2 points together, and this will also be connected this way, which is the excess will be taken out on the sleeve. So I'll go ahead now to cut and cut off the excess in the process. So this is what we'll have. So having cut here, I'll be picking about 8 inches from the wrist this way and mark, and I'll square across to cut. Which is the lace region, and likewise lace will be placed on this, and while this will be the lining. So placing my patterns on fabric, we're starting with the bodice this way. We'll secure with pin, adding necessary seam allowances all around the patterns. Then we're cutting out. I went ahead to cut my lining for all of them on each pattern this way, and for the yoke I cut the main lace and the plain net which we'll be using as base to finish it up. So with this now we can move to sewing. I'm sure some people are already wondering the magic that we did at the front armhole. When we move to sewing now, you'll be seeing the way it's coming out. Placing the sleeve on fabric, this is what we have lace cut on those two pieces, and the middle part we use lining instead. But we had to cut an extra copy of the pattern which we need to slash and spread to create the design at hand. And here is the slash and spread version of it. That is what gave us this fullness. We had to cut and slash at angle 90 to have this result. And we will going ahead to placing this pattern and disposing it with the help of the lining underneath this way. And with this now we can move to proper sewing of the bodice and the sleeve. So here we have with the bodice, we added interfacing both the lining and on the main fabric this way, and we've done our sewing. So for the bodice, this is what we have, only interfacing, no form of padding or wadding here, just this that we have here. And for the yoke now, this is what we have. I've actually gone ahead to join front and back together and prepare the keyhole, lining to lining, fabric to fabric this way. Taking the measurement at the side seam, this is what we have. Can you see? Are you loving the wrong side? And here is the yoke part. Actually gone ahead to attach the upper part of the sleeve, achieving neat finishing with the help of the plain net to finish it up at the armhole like so, which will be going ahead now to attach these points already notched properly so that we can attach this way. Then for the sleeve, this is what we have. I'm so much in love with this sleeve like so. Oh my god. And this is what we have on the wrong side. This is what it looks like, neatly finished. Are you loving it like I do? So trying to bring it out from the wrong side, this is what you have, just like the other piece this way. I'm so much in love with this sleeve. So for the lower part, this is what we have, the skirt part. I already have a detailed video on this. The link is already in the description box below. How to actually draft a side waist pocket on a pencil skirt. So be going ahead now to couple all of these patterns pieces together, the skirt, the bodice and the sleeve. So here we are, the skirt part and the bodice part already coupled together this way, and this is what we have at the armhole, neatly finished. And you can see the front armhole is quite small, yes, and that is what gives us the fitting we are looking for. Check it out, quite small indeed. So this is what we have at this moment. So the next thing is for us to go ahead now to attach the yoke. And how do we get to do this? We'll start off this way from the center back line, the zipper line, attaching it all the way and making sure that there is alignment at the armhole, the yoke and the bodice aligns this way. And we are doing our sewing to the surface, to the right side, this way to the right side like so. And afterwards we'll be attaching the self edge round this way all the way like so. So this is what we'll have afterwards, having attached the yoke and the self edge to the main body like so. I've gone ahead to actually even install the zipper. Here's our zipper installed, and checking it out. Can you see the level of finishing neatness that we're able to achieve on the wrong side this way? So we're going ahead now to prepare the collar to attach to the neckline, and to do this we'll be making use of our pattern this way. So we're attaching the patterns together, measuring the circumference of the neckline as a guide to drafting our mandarin collar. So having measured now, we'll be using that measurement as a guide to draft my mandarin collar, which I have this. Here's my center front. So I'll be going ahead now to draw my slash line to be able to cut and lap and modify to mandarin collar like so. Having modified, this is what we have. Then we use it to cut our top collar and the under collar like so. We're going ahead now to prepare, then attach. So having prepared and attached the collar, this is what we have. We actually had to use loop and button like so to fasten it together at the center back this way. So we are simply done with the production of our dress with yoke and eliminating gaping at the front armhole. So bringing it out to the wrong side, this is what the wrong side looks like. Achieving neat finishing this way. For the lower part, the skirt part, I actually choose this type of seam finishing. So it's actually up to you how you finish up your garment, but just make sure it is neat in and out like so. For more application of the contouring guidelines, you could actually join our contouring class, where you'll be having more application of the contouring guidelines, eliminating gaping at different segments of the garment, especially for the bodice. This is actually one of the topics that we treated in the class, blouse with yoke and eliminating gaping. Kindly contact me on the WhatsApp number displayed. So for this region, I'll simply use my hand needle to secure it in place as the overlapping for the slits. So I'm good to go rocking my design. Can you see it? Are you loving it? The white combination is just superb for this dress. So to further style up the dress, add some spicing, I went ahead to prepare an hairpiece fascinator molar kit, majorly with my fabric cut out in flounce form. Prepare the blaze, got a flower petal this way and an Alice band, which I'll be securing all of them together with the help of my hand needle and thread. Check it out. Are you loving it? I'm sure you've learned from this video. Kindly give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. Till next week Friday. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.
Lapery College of Fashion, raising professionals.